All right, let's get into it. 7 days. Oh, sorry, wrong video. Just kidding. So if you haven't already seen part one is up. Excuse me, as I was editing, so hours editing actually. It was good, and then I went back to edit, and the audio was off because I record my audio on a different device because it's a lot more clear. I have a microphone, professional. So I don't know what happened, and whenever I uploaded it, like I watched it a couple times before I uploaded it. Actually, it looked fine, but when I uploaded it, the audio is a little off some parts, so excuse that first of all. All right, but yeah, watch part one before you watch this so you know a little more what's going on. But we are talking about Oak Grove Cemetery in Natchitoches, Texas, and I am going to tell you one of the more scariest experiences that I've ever had was in this cemetery. Like I said before, this cemetery is very active. My longtime best friend Kaylee and I, we love to go to cemetery to check out. It's just, I think the more of the like historical side of a lot of these cemeteries. I really like to go investigate places that, like, has history to it, and I like learning about it and all that. Like, I'm old and weird, it ain't a bad thing. So, when we were younger, we would go and just sit in cemeteries, and and still we like to go, we get out of the house. It's just something to do. It's peaceful, it's quiet, it's away from people. We don't like people are whack. So this is what we do. Anyway, back to the story. So we were in the cemetery. It was a beautiful night. We decided to go out, do an investigation that was going on and it was happening. So so we're just like, let's just go back. And so we wasn't using no flashlights or anything because it was such a beautiful night. The moon was out, it was full, bright. We could see the cemetery just fine. So we don't need no flashlights and draw even more attention to ourselves because people are like, why these weirdos in the cemetery this time of night? So and I've had the police called on us a few times just for being in the cemetery at night. Yeah, there's haters out there. That's a whole different story. Like, I feel like just the experiences of getting like the police called on us for being in like cemeteries or like historical places and like just want to check out places. That's a whole video to itself. Okay. So as we're walking back to the car, we hear something in the distance, and because like I said, we're in town, and we were just like, oh, it's nothing. It's probably a dog. It's probably somebody way out other side of the cemetery just making some noise. And then we realized that the sound was getting louder and louder, and it was like speed. Like, I was like, oh wait, like I feel like this sound is getting closer to us. What's really going on? Until I realized that this sound that I thought it was just just a sound turned out to be right when it was on us. I realized that it wasn't just some random sound. It was somebody coming through the cemetery at a speed. At a speed that isn't... You wouldn't think that somebody could run this fast. And they were screaming high at us. And I know people were like, oh, it's just a person. But see, here's the situation. I've thought about this because I wanted to debunk it, that it could have been a person, living, breathing person, like they would just try to mess with us. But I've thought about this. Okay, it's just because it sounded like it was way across the cemetery, and I'm gonna put some footage in because that's what my husband and I was going to do. We were walking baby around, that I wanted to go and give you a visual idea of what I'm talking about. If they are across this cemetery, and they're running at this speed, they have to know where each and every tombstone is. And I'm like, that's physically impossible, because unless they on some next level of crazy than me, but they have every tombstone in their mind, you know. So like I'll show you like I'm walking through the cemetery, like it's literally impossible for somebody to be running at that speed, to not have any light. We didn't see anything. Even when it was right up on us, I didn't see anything because I was looking. You hear somebody yelling hey at you, like from me to where my camera is, you're gonna see somebody, even if it's just a full moon out, you know what I'm saying? It was just horrifying. So like I was thinking about it, I was like, okay, well if they're not running, then maybe they can have a bike. But then I'm like, well, same situation, it's a bike, I feel like they just go and it's just, it's crazy. Like it really scared us because like it pissed me off too, because of the simple fact that a lot of the times we do capture EVPs, we do capture something. Like I've had captured stuff like watched this from a distance, and I don't think it could be possible for it to be human because of the fact that I have explored the place and made sure nobody was there first before, because I have been to places where I was by myself and I had no idea that there's people upstairs. There's a whole another video to itself too. And then later on realized that, you know, there was people upstairs, and I'm glad I didn't go upstairs. Like you have to be safe out there. Like that's why a lot of times I'd rather go with somebody for just the company, and it's a little bit like less nerve-wracking because the ghost doesn't scare me. People scare me. People are just terrifying. I feel like nowadays is the human race is getting worse. We're going backwards in time for some reason. I don't know. That's a whole other thing, but it's just, I got off topic. My bad. My brain went. But it's just, so as I heard it say hi, 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 it was on us, like right there. I didn't see anything. I just took, like my first instinct was like, nah, forget this shit, I'm out. I ran. I'm not gonna cap. My friend was like, oh my gosh, and like looked at me, and I'm like, baby girl, I'm already into the car. If you ain't with me at the car, because you know I don't run. You know I'm always like, I'm always that Caucasian person. I'm just like, hear a sound, hello, and then I get bodied in a horror movie. But I'm that person. But if you see me booking it, you better book it right behind me. And she was, and I had my keys out because we weren't far. We had like, I don't know, maybe like 30 feet or so, like from where my car is, which you'll see. I'll put show you about, like, you know. So I don't know, it shook me out. It got me. But yeah, so I just took off, and she was right behind me. I had my keys out, and I jumped in that car so fast. Ooh, I was like, nah, I ain't gonna get my cheeks clapped by no ghost or anything like that, cause I'm married. So I jumped in the car. She jumped in the car. We locked the doors because of the fact that, you know, if it's a ghost, it can't get us if the door's locked. I don't know what that's about. What was I thinking? But, you know, no. If it was a person, then I wanted to lock the doors just to be sure that they can't get in the car, because I'm not trying to get bodied out there. Like, yeah, it's a cemetery, but, you know, I have a lot more time left in my life, I feel like. So we didn't see anything. We actually started to leave the cemetery, and we looked, and I didn't see anything. She didn't see anything, so I'm just like, I don't know. I don't think anybody could have been, I personally don't think anybody could have been human, because it's just the speed, the tombstones, there was no light, there's just, and I can see, like, I remember this night, like it just happened yesterday, because it was so freaking horrifying. And just for people who are like, oh my god, you just leave your friend like that? No. Okay, no. Let me tell you a story. This is the story all about. No. I would never leave my friend in a situation like that, okay? Like, on the real. Because there's this one time, okay, we're from Louisiana. There is a lot of alligators. So we were swimming a lake this one time. Me, my bestie, Kaylee, and another girl. And, which was bestie at the time. And we were all swimming we were like laying on this raft out in this, like, I think it's called a canal, maybe, I don't know. It's like this little area like from the lake, and then it goes into like a little park anyway. But we were on the raft, and I know this is from the video what I'm talking about, but I just had to put it in there because I don't want you to be like, oh my gosh, would you leave your friend? No, we're not. So we were all just like out there on the raft, and it was kind of deflated, and we were just chilling. I had my glasses off, and the other girl had her glasses off, and Kaylee doesn't wear glasses. So, we were just chilling here. It was tied onto the dock near us, and we're out there a good ways out there. And all of a sudden, my friend Kaylee was like, "Oh my God, alligator!" And the other girl saw the alligator. Myself did not see the alligator. Okay, so the other girl, who just blind I am, had her glasses off, and she could see the alligator. And then I know I'm gonna see the alligator, and I'm out of there. So the other girl took off. Kaylee was right behind her, and I was behind Kaylee. And Kaylee gets stuck on the line, and the other girl's already gone. She was like, "Y'all dead, deceased, bye." But Kaylee, she was like freaking out because she was stuck, and obviously I'm sure we scared the alligator away because we jumped in the water. And a lot of times a big splash like that, I feel like but to us, the alligator was on our cheeks. It was touching my toes. I could feel it just touching my toes, tickling my toes, like it had me. I felt it. Like in my mind, it had my toes. But she got tangled up her wrist, and so I stopped, went back, and realized that I was past there. Like, what are you doing, homie? Well, let's get out of here. So I was like, helping her get loose, let her go first, and then I got out. So in a situation of something deadly and scary, I always got my friends back. Okay, if you want to come paranormal investigating with me, I got you, homie. I'm not gonna let you get got by an alligator or a ghost. Okay? T. I don't know. I just thought about that story. Like, that story is crazy because I was like, nah, my friend ain't about to get got by an alligator. It's gonna touch my toes. It's fine. It can take a toe. I can live without a toe. That's fine. All my friend is still there. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's like I'm saying. Like, it was just a crazy night, and one of the scarier things that's happened to me because, like I said before, I've had so many paranormal experiences. Like I said before, I can hear and see stuff that nobody else can. I calmed down a little bit after I had whenever I was pregnant, I didn't go anywhere really, and afterwards I haven't been anywhere. Like, I'm kind of nervous to go back paranormal investigating for the simple fact that when I was pregnant, I didn't want anything attached to her. I believe that's a thing. I don't want anything to follow me home because even now, like, I ignore, when I was pregnant, not long before I had baby, I actually had someone scream in my ear, "Hey," and it was a woman. And my first instinct is pretend like I didn't flinch or anything. Like, I was like, nah, we ain't about to acknowledge this because I don't want nothing to stay. First of the fact that my daughter ever has an imaginary friend, I'm automatically gonna know that it's not imaginary. Like, she got a friend. So, like, I don't know. I don't want her. I mean, I don't mind her having an imaginary friend. Like, if she had a ghost friend, as long as it ain't bad, But I've had my fair share of bad entities in my life. Like, I've seen pure evil where it, like, came in the room and it was, like, 3 feet tall. And it honestly, like, the energy it gave off was one of the scariest things I ever felt in my life. I started crying, and the other person in my room was my biological mother. I say biological mother because she gave birth to me, but she's not my mom. See, on that's a whole different thing. Yeah, it's just like, we both started crying because, like, the energy was just horrifying, and that place by itself, I think, had a portal to somewhere. Like, there were so many different entities in that place. Some were good, that one just, it was scary. But so yeah, that's what happened that night. That is just something from a speed, from like you could hear something in the distance until it was right up on us, and I realized it was like, hi, and that scared the crap out of me. So I'll be, gone out. I'm not having that. I'm not doing that situation. But yeah, that's that story. I'm gonna put a lot of videos in. Like, I want you to get a visual of what happened. But yeah, next story. I don't know what the next story is gonna be. Like I said, I've had so many different experiences. I don't know what I talk about, because like this place where I said like I felt this evil entity. So like that situation with that is like we would hear stories of like how this woman got, which was supposed to be our cousin, because everybody around there inbred, hell, everybody's kin to somebody, hell. That's story by itself too. But supposedly that this woman got murdered brutally in this bathroom. Like, it was a townhouse, so it's like our apartment, their apartment, but the only thing split was a wall. And next door, like, she got brutally murdered. They came through the window, and I used to have dreams, like, I don't know, see that messes with me, because I try to find an article or something on Google and all that, but I couldn't find anything about it. But everybody's always talked about it, and I just was like, well, am I crazy? Because I used to have like these vivid dreams of her getting brutally murdered and what really happened and what really went on. And like, I would describe, like, my grandmother would tell me it was real. Like, I would describe this woman, and I don't know, I couldn't find an actual article, so I haven't done a story on it yet, because I'm like, was I doing too many drugs back then? But no, I was like 13 when this was going on, and I was like 12, 13, I don't know, but it was just like there was like multiple ghosts in this house, and I know I'm not that crazy. So there's like this woman in white, there was the woman who got murdered, there was this evil entity that I just talked about, and it was just, there was just so many ghosts in this house that, yeah, it's a video on itself, really. But yeah, that's all I can talk about for now. And I gotta think about what the next video is gonna be about. But thanks for the 2 people that likes and subscribe, and just supporters. You're real MVPs. And excuse me, how are you? Okay, bye.